Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Well, Hajiya Naja'Atu Mohammed, do you accept your characterization as a mole in the APC? Because the APC is that you are a mole and you have gone to where you came from. And secondly, do you feel vindicated by what happened in Abeokuta yesterday, where the candidate of the APC accused the Buhari administration, either by way of innuendo or by suggestion or directly with reference to powers that be, that Naira redesign and fuel scarcity, those two major issues faced by Nigerians, have been designed to sabotage him?
In the first place, there's a difference between the Tinubu Campaign Council and the APC. Only the APC could have had the right to expel me from the party, not the Tinubu Campaign Council. The APC doesn't belong to Tinubu. And I gave my resignation to the chairman, somebody that I have a lot of respect for. Not just that, but they know how hard and where they had gone from pillar to pole to beg me to please come back. But I can't go into personal issues, because when you indulge in personal issues, personal insults, you are not only condescending, but you are diverting attention from the main issues, the main problems that are bedeviling this country. So I don't want to waste my time on them. But I want to stand my ground that I left because Tinubu is incapable. And I have been vindicated yesterday. Everything about Tinubu is about himself. When he wanted to contest, he said it's his turn. He wants to hold the knife that will cut the pie. It's not about the country. It's about him, his ego, his corruption. It's all about that. His control, his material control and the psychological control of the people of this country, but particularly the people from the Southwest. I have heard him when we were in ACN saying that when he sleeps, the Southwest sleeps. And when he wakes up, the Southwest wakes up. That is his mentality. It's like an emperor mentality, which is very wrong. However, to be very, very serious, when he begged me, and Falake begged me to go into the campaign council, I rejected. They know that. I didn't want to go into the campaign council, but they begged me. Tinubu, it's still ringing in my ear. In the name of Allah, Hajiya, in the name of Allah, accept this appointment. I said, sir, I will not accept the appointment until you tell me what you have for us up north. He invited me to London. I went to London. I sat with him for 2 hours. Most of the time he was sleeping. I asked him what he had for us up north, because we have extremely serious security problems. He told me that he didn't have anything. I said, sir, you mean that you want to be president and you don't even have a blueprint? He said he doesn't have a blueprint. He doesn't have a blueprint according to him, because if I have a blueprint, I'm quoting him now, then I might be killed, and because I'll be stepping on too many toes. I said, sir, in that position that you are looking for, you don't think of death. You don't think of assassination. Anyway, that is gone. But I've been vindicated yesterday. Nigerians have been suffering for over a year for lack of fuel. And more Nigerians are going to suffer and are already suffering for the fact that they give a very short notice and make the new notes unavailable. So Nigeria now will have to resort to trade by barter. Tinubu did not say anything. All he's thinking of is the bullion van that has been made available for him to buy votes. I've been vindicated, alhamdulillah.
All right, well thank you.
And you know, sir,
Please go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is this. Nigerians should be focused. We have a very, very serious problem. Nigeria is at the brink, especially as it concerns security. You must have an enabling environment in order to do anything. So you cannot take someone that is virtually senile and another person that has been associated on several occasions with funding terrorism. That is Kashim Shettima. Kashim Shettima, we should not forget Kabiru Sokoto. Kabiru Sokoto was one of the most wanted terrorists, and he was found and arrested in his house. Let us understand and let us not forget, this terrorism, this banditry, this carnage is not just happening by mistake. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. A multi-billion-dollar industry because it takes a lot of money on defense budget. It has a lot to do with the sale of drugs. It has a lot to do with mining and illegal bunkering and illegal and illicit mining. And look at the areas that are generally affected by this. Take the Northeast, for instance. In the Northeast, you have the blue diamond. That is a strategic mineral. You have oil at the Chad Basin that is being explored right now, but illegally. You have Zamfara. If you go to Zamfara, Zamfara has more gold than Ghana. Zamfara's gold is being traded in Dubai and other parts of the country. There is a market called Nigerian gold in Dubai. Go and check. So who is doing this mining? Most times they are the governors, the people in power. They are the ones doing it in connivance with foreign mercenaries. Can you remember? Have we forgotten when they said there is a no-fly zone in Zamfara? Why should there be a no-fly zone? There isn't even an airport in Zamfara, but aircrafts land and they take off from Zamfara. And let me tell you something else. In Zamfara, every container that comes from China ends up in Zamfara. You know why? Because in Zamfara, the soil in Zamfara has all the strategic minerals that you can think of. So when the containers come in from China, they land they end in Zamfara, and a bag of Zamfara soil is today sold at 5,000. So they need to displace the people to allow them to continue with their mining. I mean, it's multifaceted. And these are people that one has been severally accused of harboring terrorists, even recently. And why? Let us ask, why should Shettima be visiting, along with his governor, be visiting and making a solidarity with a police officer that was being tried for drug trafficking? Why? So you begin to put these things together and you begin to understand why Nigerians must retrieve their country. We can't allow this thing to happen.
Very heavy statements and things you've said just now, Hajiya. But I'd like to ask you two questions based on some of the things you mentioned when you tendered your resignation. Still going back to the status of the health of the candidate of the APC, presidential candidate of the APC, where you said that when you had a meeting with him to discuss the issues that you were very particular and passionate about, he couldn't hold the conversation as he was sleeping for most of the time, and then he couldn't raise the teacup. We just interviewed one of the APC members of the campaign, and he said that largely untrue, that he would see during campaigns the APC presidential candidate is very fit, he's able to hold a broom, he wears an agbada, he's able to dance around. And so your claims, hold on, I just want to, let me just land on that your claim that he's not healthy enough. I want to hear from you now, based on your interactions and working with him closely. It has been debated a number of times as to how important the health status of a candidate ought to be to electorates. I'd like you to expand a bit more on that. And then the second question I have for you is based also on your resignation letter, that political parties do not have, in Nigeria currently, do not have ideological differences. And so you were tired of playing in places where people didn't have any ideology. They were all the same. I'd like to understand, what that statement means and then what it means for your future in the politics of Nigeria.
What a lot of people don't know is that I was I didn't meet Asiwaju in APC. We met at ACN. I was ACN. I didn't go to CPC. I keep saying, I am the first person to start Buhari's campaign. They are still living on my structure, the Northwest. That is one. And any time we try to make an alliance, particularly with the Southwest, we started with the G4. Ojikalu, Buhari, Atiku, and Asiwaju. This is as way back as 2007. In fact, it was, 2007. And it was always Buhari that opted out. He didn't want the alliance, for reasons best known to him. Because he did not want a contest in which he will not be the sole candidate. And he did not want a contest that people will not step down for him. So we did that once, we did that twice, we did that. On the third time, I said, I'm not going with Buhari because I'm not his slave. I decided to stay with the ACN. That was when I started my interaction with Asiwaju. And I know that on several occasions I had to hold the cup for him. So even then. And then everybody saw what happened when Asiwaju was given the flag. Our honorable chairman, or their honorable chairman now, Abdullah, had to help him to hold the flag. Everybody saw it. Cameras don't lie. But you see, madam, what bothers me is not so much his physical health. There was a president in America that sat on a wheelchair and ruled from a wheelchair. But when you are mentally deranged, it's unacceptable. Because you can't decipher, you can't think, you can't do anything. You go to sleep any day, anytime. See what is happening in Cameroons. Let me tell you, in Cameroons, they see their president in 9 years, they see him once. And they still accept. Nigeria is not Cameroon. Nigeria is not Southern Sudan. We are far more sophisticated than that. So that is for that. And then the subsequent question you ask, yes, I stand by it. Look at the manifestos of all the parties. The only one that is different, to be very, very honest, is not the Labour Party as a Labour Party, but the OB as a movement. However, all the political parties have no ideological difference. And what I'm saying is this, because politicians have shuttled, including Peter Obi, they shuttled from one party to another. Tinubu was AD, then AC, then ACN, now APC. Buhari was APP, then AMPP, then CPC, and now APC. The same is true to Atiku and Kwankwaso, and even Peter Obi. So why do so it's like a robe they wear. When it suits them, I wear this robe to be on this platform, but it's the same person. It's the same person. So Nigerians must be looking at the person, not the robe the person is wearing. That is at their convenience. That is my position.
Okay, ma. A couple of things. Some will argue and challenge that, yes, you say he's mentally deranged, prove it medically, you don't have his health records. That's what some will say to you frontally. Second, no, hang on a minute, ma. Please, let me just finish this assumption. Secondly, a lot of people will also argue with you when you say he says he's got nothing to do. He's got a manifesto out that talked about what he'll do as regards insecurity. Third, in one of your statements, you said Tinubu and Atiku are the devil at the deep blue sea, that you rather go to the deep blue sea in Atiku. Yeah. But he too carries a lot of his own baggages, which you are aware of, which has been spoken about.
Yeah.
And when you look at this, people will say that all of this you are saying is just sour grapes. Because why did you wait till now before you left? And you too, you cannot say you're not benefited for the APC government you claim has failed. And you had benefited from them up till now.
No, I take exception to that, sir. Okay, I really take exception to that. Because, yes, I take exception to that because you have to name my benefit. You see, unfortunately, people think that when you are appointed, for instance, I work at the Police Service Commission. Is that what you call a benefit? So Nigerians see appointments as a means to which they can acquire money. Working at the Police Service Commission in the first place, I'm a part-time commissioner that has no salary. I stay for months without a sitting allowance, but I still work. And remember, if I want financial benefits, I want to take you back to the time. Obasanjo offered me ministerial appointments twice, which I rejected. The first one, I got a standing ovation in the Senate. But then we had problems. We had factions, the Saraki faction and the other faction. I belonged to the Saraki faction. So having gone through the Senate, the senators from AMPP then decided that they had already expelled me from the APP. So AMPP. So I must, they cannot accept me to represent, to be the minister representing the AMPP. So what did Obasanjo said? Obasanjo called me and said, come into the PDP, be a card-carrying member of the PDP, and I will make you minister as a PDP member. I rejected it. The second time, I also rejected it in 2003. Jonathan offered me ministerial appointment. We were given ministerial appointment the same day with Bala Mohammed. He picked me from my house. And we went to see Jonathan, who offered me that appointment. I said, no, I did not do Save Nigeria. I'm one of the conveners of Save Nigeria. I did not do it to be a minister. I want to continue with my activism. I don't want anything to keep me back. And mark you, when people, people do not seem to be able to make a dichotomy between service to country and personal aggrandizement. I know there is a difference. When I swore by the Constitution to defend the Constitution of Nigeria, I did not swear to defend Buhari or the APC. And the government of Muhammadu Buhari is not a property of the APC. It's the property of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and all Nigerians. So what are we talking about? So what is the benefit? People must stop seeing governance as a means of personal achievement or personal way of making money. That is the bottom line. I'm different. I have not benefited anything from the APC.
But why Atiku?
And I'm not doing Atiku today for any... I gave my reasons. And my reasons were, I said, Peter Obi is a movement. Yes, I said that. I said that because it's for the first time, the Nigerian youth have a voice and they are coming together to form some kind of movement. It's not even about Peter Obi. The movement will outlive Peter Obi. But I said they have structural problems. I'll give you an example. Buhari since 2003 was getting 15 million votes, but he couldn't be president. Why? In spite of the cult followership the North gave to Buhari, why didn't he win? He didn't win because he had structural problems, because he could not break bridges. It took the alliance that he had rejected severally, with the Southwest in particular, that he was able to become president. That is the only reason. And what I'm also saying is that I have no luxury of time. There is no luxury of time. That is why I said I had to choose between the devil and the deep sea. And then, as far as Konkoso is concerned, Konkoso did a great job for us in Kano, especially in human development. I think the best thing that anyone can give to anybody is education. Because that is why most governors withdrew education from our schools. They withdrew education from our schools because they want this sea of energy. Able-bodied men, they are like uranium. Our kids are so energetic. They are like a virgin uranium, which you can use either to generate power or to make into an atomic bomb. In this case, our youth have been denied education so that they are perpetually cannon fodder for rulers, especially our governors. You understand? So that is why I said I had to choose at this point in time, and I made it clear explicitly clear that I don't belong to the PDP. In fact, I said I am partyless. I'm partyless because there are candidates in other parties that I feel I should go and support. So if I say I'm in the PDP, then I will have problems. It's like from frying pan to fire.
I need you to
yes, I can hear you.
assist us to some clarifications. First, you said on this program that the candidate of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is mentally deranged. That's a very strong thing to say.
Yes.
No, you can't say yes, because if you look at Section 131 of the 1999 Constitution, Section 131, listing the qualifications for anybody seeking the office of the president, says that, look, the person cannot be of unsound mind. That will be a ground for disqualification. Now, having made that point publicly, you may be called upon to come and prove it. And we are not the ones to go and prove it, because you said it. No, hang on a moment. Hang on a moment.
This is okay.
Okay, that's one. Number two, at what point did it occur to you that this candidate, you have issues? You accepted the position as director of organizations. You were part of the party from 2015. You supported President Buhari, and just now, just about 30 days or so to the election, you then come around and you say you think your candidate is mentally deranged. That's a very strange thing to say. And then finally.
Yeah, I know.
I want a third thing I want you to clarify. A third thing I want you to clarify.
Yes.
The Tinubu camp, speaking through, I think it's Mahmoud Jega, says that, look, that you were sacked, that you didn't resign, that you were sacked for incompetence and being very quarrelsome. And your quarrelsomeness has also been indicated. I'm quoting Mahmoud Jega, I'm not the one making it up. And your quarrelsomeness even led you to resigning from the Police Service Commission. I just want clarifications on all these 3 points.
No. I did not resign from the Police Service Commission. You see, it's really unfortunate. Mahmoud Jega should tell us who bought him a house recently in Abuja and why he joined that team. I'm just leaving that with him. However, let me answer your questions. You see, this is a country, unfortunately, that is bedeviled with so much corruption. If Asiwaju were not what he is, with stupendous amount of money to bribe everyone from the courts and everything, he will not be contesting elections. Because from his name to his school to his health, everything about him is based on lies, and nobody wants to prove that. Nobody wants to prove that because everyone is bribed to say what they want to say. However, Nigerians can see. They see him every day. The last clip I saw of him is calling Atiku the governor of Anambra State. For God's sake, what else do we need? We don't need a doctor to tell us that. We don't need a doctor when somebody is blah, blah, lying. We don't need a doctor to say it. Look, people must understand that ill health, dementia, is a natural process of human beings. It's nature. It's not as if it's his fault. But it's also not our fault. So we don't have to accept somebody that cannot decipher. That is the truth. You understand? So I am still insisting. And at what point did I resign? I told you from the beginning that I didn't want the appointment. He, Asiwaju, begged me. He begged me. He said, in the name of Allah. This was what he said. Let him deny it. I didn't want the appointment. I didn't want to be part of it. Look, I'm a businesswoman. I'm not a politician that makes money out of politics. Go and look at my history. If I want to make money out of this blood money, I would have made it long ago, but I don't want it. And he must, Asiwaju, okay, why is he not going into debates? Why is he not allowed to talk even in rallies? You know what they do in rallies now? What they do is say, let's dance. They start dancing. It's an insult to Nigerians. Even if it are lies, please lie to us. Lie to us about what you want to do. Why is he running away from debates? He's running away from everything. He went to Chatham House. He was asking others to answer questions for him. And Nigerians accept this. Why was he saying that? If he could answer, if he could think, if he can decipher, why is he allocating questions to other people? Are they the ones that Nigerians are going to vote for? I stand my ground. Yeah, I stand my ground.
All right, okay, so just let me ask you with regards to your statement around the fact that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu bribed his way into winning the APC presidential primaries. In fact, you did allude in a recent interview to the fact that the vice president of the country, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, would have been a better candidate, but for the powers that be, using his terms, in the Lagos-Ibadan press arrangement. That was what made it impossible for him to emerge. I'd like you to give a bit more, clarity on this, because you just talked about Mahmoud Jega being given a house. Are there other inducements that had been given to APC leaders to ensure that, Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerged as presidential candidate?
You see, let me tell you about the fallacy of the Nigerian press and the generality of the Nigerian elites. Osinbajo, anytime Buhari, just one example, anytime Buhari leaves the country, the dollar collapses. Why? Osinbajo was given a few weeks, just a few weeks to run this country, and he put the country on the right track in terms of security, in terms of the finance. A very brilliant professor. If they really and honestly wanted a power shift to the southwest, is he not also Egba Omo Odudua? What is wrong with him? They refused because he could not share money. And let me tell you, I know, like from our candidates, our delegates from Kano, I can tell you that each ballot box, the name of Asiwaju was put on it. All you are paid to do is to go and put it in the box. It wasn't their choice. And we have seen clips of governors sharing money. Governors, such a disgrace. This is the first time that I know that governors do not even sponsor presidential campaigns. Normally, the governor sponsors the presidential campaign in his state. But this time around, it's Asiwaju that is doing it. Because everything about Asiwaju is about money. There is nothing like honor. For God's sake, what do we want? Can we continue to wallow in this? Can we continue to deceive ourselves? Who are we lying to? We are only lying to ourselves. We see these things. The truth has been written on the horizon. Why are we now turning the other eye? And not just that. As far as my so-called expulsion from the APC is concerned, what took them so long? They should have told the public before I resigned that they have kicked me out. But unfortunately, because they are so silly, they are saying after my resignation, they actually kicked me out. They have no respect for the psyche of Nigerians. They think that we are all a bunch of idiots. We are not. Okay. We can think. Okay. I took my time because they pleaded with me. I'm a Muslim. He said, in the name of Allah, please accept this appointment. I respect your stance. I said, sir, you have to give me a blueprint. He said, that doesn't have a blueprint.
Okay.
What is in a manifesto? I just told you that the manifesto of all the parties are the same. So what is in a manifesto?
Okay. So I'd like to ask you the question based on what you said last. Knowing all of this, what took you so long and why now?
Sir, one of the problems is this. I didn't want to be arrogant. And let me tell you what I did as a last resort. What I did as a last resort is I went, knowing that this is Asiwaju's handicap. And having pleaded with me in the name of Allah to accept it, I had to be humble. But I didn't just stop, but my conscience was pricking me all the time, because I know that even the Lagos Chamber of Commerce gave him their demands. But look at a whole north without a demand. So what did I do? As a last resort, I want to tell you this. I tried and I sat with all the people I think in the APC, the northerners in the APC, that are the real opinion molders. For 3 months, I have been trying to get them to come together for us to sit and give him an agenda. So that, because when the governors go to see Asiwaju, they go in block to intimidate him. So I said, why not this opinion molders from the APC? Why don't we sit? That was the last, I said, let us sit with him. For 3 months, I was going from pillar to pole to get them to accept this. They say, yes, it's a good idea. But it's each to himself. So I had to go.